This morning, Nintendo has finally released a full overview trailer for Splatoon 3's Side Order. This was first announced back in last February's Nintendo Direct, but we never knew much about it. Over time, they have posted tidbits about what this is. Like in the last Nintendo Direct, they talked about how you can play this expansion over and over again. So it sounded like a roguelike, and by the trailer, it looked like a roguelike. But we were never sure. But my question was, how much of a roguelike? Because to my knowledge, Nintendo has never really dabbled in the roguelike department. I can't think of any games they have ever created that even has a few roguelike elements. So this is one of their first. I was also a little worried, because in all of the previous trailers for this DLC, it looked a lot of the same. We could tell it was like a Salmon Run kind of DLC, but would playing Salmon Run for the entirety of a DLC be fun at all? That's what I was worried about, at the least. But with this new trailer that just released, all of my fears are pretty much gone. All of my fears of this being a little boring or not enough like a roguelike vanished. Because this trailer, that is an actual overview of the DLC, was amazing. They confirmed that, yes, this is a full-on roguelike. More roguelike than I thought Nintendo would be willing to go. I got stunned when they said, when you die, you reset, you go back to the first floor. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I thought you would have checkpoints or something, but no, they're full roguelike. Because in the trailer, they even said that all your upgrades you get during your ascension up the tower, gone. And how those Pearl points will be transferred into permanent upgrades, which is really cool. I'm looking at the list here, and you can raise how many lives you get, reduce damage, max armor, broken armor jump, which I don't know what that fully means, but I'm really intrigued. And you have Pearl Drone, where you can get upgrades for the Pearl Drone, which is really cool. This is full roguelike. Remember how I was talking before, being worried about how I was worried all the missions would be the same? Same objectives, not much of a twist. Well, this trailer shows a lot of, I don't know exactly what, but there was a Splat Zones moment where you had to cover certain turf. I think there was a tower control one where you had to guide a tower. That was really cool. They were going over missions oh, you have to kill the spawner to beat this mission, or you have to kill all the enemies. Even the 8-ball from Octo Expansion returns, which is awesome. It looks so fun and cool with all the missions. And I'm sure these aren't even all the missions they showed. I'm sure there's a lot more, which is really cool. Another worry that I originally had with this DLC was all the upgrades would be very boring. I was worried there'd be basically just the abilities from just the main game. Do more damage, or run speed up, or swim speed up. But there seem to be some of those kind of here in some ways, ink damage of course. But even those are made to be more interesting here. There are two different upgrades. There's a close and distant, which is really cool. I can imagine that if you're a roller player, you would want the close range damage, but if you're a sniper, you want the distant damage. So it's really cool with the different weapon combinations you can use along the DLC. However, my only fear that I have right now is that it's going to be too easy. Nintendo is known for games that everyone can play, so I'm worried they'll make this DLC too easy. My biggest fear is beating it in one try, without getting any of the permanent upgrades, without experimenting with weapons. That's what I'm worried about. But at the same time, this is also the same team behind Octo Expansion, which was not an easy game. So that fear isn't too big. What I am curious about is why Agent 8 again? As you guys know, Agent 8 was the protagonist of Octo Expansion, Splatoon 2's DLC. And in that DLC, they were a new character. We've never seen them before, so it was a new character we're playing as. But here they are again, acting as the main protagonist for Splatoon 3's DLC, which is weird, because in every Splatoon campaign, including the DLC, we have never played as the same protagonist. In Splatoon 1, it was Agent 3, in Splatoon 2, it was Agent 4, and then in Octo Expansion for Splatoon 2, it was of course Agent 8. And then in Splatoon 3, things got a little weird, where the agent numbering reset, and now we're playing as Agent 3 again, but not the same Agent 3 from Splatoon 1. It's Splatoon lore, complicated. But yeah, throughout every Splatoon campaign, you never played the same protagonist. But here, they fully said, yeah, you're playing as Agent 8 again. I don't know what the story implications are for this. What we know of this story so far is that we have Pearl by our side, but there are no signs of Marina. I don't think we've seen Marina once in any of the trailers for this DLC. And yeah, I guess that's the other thing of like, what's the story? Like, what kind of plot twists are gonna be in this DLC? Like, what's up with Marina? Does she need saving? Is she helping us? Or perhaps she could be the villain? Because we don't even know the villain of this story. Though, I'm glad we don't know much of the story. I would rather play the game and get the story from there than have it spoiled for me before I even get to play the game. But at the end of the day, all of my pre-existing fears of this DLC being not good are pretty much all gone. I am fully excited for this game to release. What about you? Are you excited for this game to release? Let me know below in the comments. And on your way there, make sure to subscribe. See you all in the next video.